Hello, and welcome to the Otaku Clubhouse. And this is Sink or Swim. What is Sink or Swim? Well, it's where we discuss anime, video games, movies, and just about whatever media catches our eye. Then give our first impressions of them. From top to bottom, we give our ratings of a swim, a tread, a float, a drowning, and at worst, a sink. Comments are always welcome, and of course, we're waiting to hear what you have to say too. Let's get into it.
Alright, bro. We just finished the first episode for Mushoku Tensei Isekai.
Why are you doing
Tara
that? Why are you doing this?
Dasu,
Why are you doing that?
which translates to real niggas sleeping around on their wives.
Why are you doing this? Jobless Reincarnation.
And it's an interesting show. It's Isekai, so you already know the deal. Main character dies, wakes up in a new universe, but like he wakes up from like jump, like out the womb. So,
Bro, Trucker Man has been out of work. You know, the fucking the Isekai trucker. He hasn't been featured in a lot of anime lately.
Yeah, this is his first time getting back in there, man. He's ready. He's ready to start.
Sending protagonists to another world. What the fuck? What's the awkward silence? I didn't mean that, Trucker Man.
Yeah, I was expecting one of y'all to start talking. All right, but
what?
it's a weird show. The character designs all look very cool. Well, not necessarily cool, but they look like they have some thought put into them. The mother, bro.
Booba.
Milky.
She was, there was a lot of, hang on, I'm sorry, I can't stop, I'm tripping. The story, much like you said, is your typical reincarnation isekai, and the whole first episode is just about watching the main character, Rudy, or Rudius, grow up. And much like they said, there's just lots of instances of, much like Rudy, being like, man, my mom is fucking stacked, and I don't know how I feel about this.
If you've watched Tanya the Evil, right, it's the same concept here, where he retains his grown-ass man personality and memories inside of his head. So you can imagine where that leads him.
Well, it leads him to saying a lot of things that I feel are almost, what's the way I'm looking to say this?
Forbidden,
but also like he realizes how wrong it is. The inside voice of the main character, by the way, is Sugita, who does a fucking great job of being Sugita. He's one of the best voice actors that you could have gotten for this situation with his voice, because it's perfect for being the straight man to his own bullshit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting things about this anime. You said before, Hawkeiser, about the way the characters look, the designs.
yes.
The art style for this, I feel, is very unique. It's almost like the lines on the characters are darker in a way. It's like they have a thicker outline, but at the same time they still have your typically non-thick anime character outlines. It's very weird looking, but I think it looks great. It's almost like a painting. The characters look kind of like they were painted on, but not in the sense of like an older, early 2000s artistic painting on like MTV or some shit, you know?
Yeah.
I ultimately just I'm gushing over it because I really do think that it looks great. The company that worked on this was a company called Studio Bind, which is apparently a joint venture between White Fox and Egg Firm. White Fox, for anybody who doesn't quite remember, or, well, you should, considering the fact that they have something else currently ongoing in ReZero, and Egg Firm in a bunch of things that they had worked on, like the Gun Gale version of Sword Art Online. It's just great all around. I think that the art style for it is something to really give them props for.
Yeah. The music reminds me of, an RPG. I mean, I say that a lot as like a dig to some series, but for this one, it's like, yeah, this is appropriate. The character learning about magic and swordsmanship, and the music is like relaxing RPG to study / to work out to. Like, that's all it is. Like, the sound design is great. Like, they really make the water sound drippy, and they really make, you know. Hold on, that's a. I shouldn't say that.
Don't talk about it.
I shouldn't say that drip word.
Don't talk about it now.
I guess we can just get into the meat and potatoes, which is the plot, the proper plot. Which there's not much to be expected in the first episode of an Isekai series. But what I really like about the series, and full disclosure, I'm pretty sure me and Akuma have already gotten into this. We might have talked about it on the podcast even. I'm not sure. But we know somewhat about this story. And what I appreciate about this is that unlike other fucking swarmy, self-aware Isekai of the late 2010s, this one doesn't give the main character any fucking super cheap, you're fucking, you got all plus 1,000 in all your stats and you have a broken skill and all the bitches are on your dick. Nah, it's just like, the only difference is that he has the mind of an adult. He's more proficient as like in his second life or whatever. And that's like the theme of this show is like, what if you had the opportunity, if you were like just a slob, a piece of shit, a jobless neat, what if you had the opportunity to start from the beginning? Would you be a different person? And that's what I like about this series.
Too easy.
Doesn't apply to anybody here.
Okay.
I mean,
but it's a good different sort of thing. ReZero kind of touched on that, but Subaru's kind of a fucking artist.
What if he needed multiple opportunities?
Yeah, he needed to fucking die 1 million times just to fucking not fuck it all up. But the main character in this, he was like a super trash neat, you know, living off his parents. Like, he didn't leave his house for like 7 months. And he wants to be earnest and work hard in his new life, the new life that was given to him. That's pretty cool.
That's something I actually wanted to touch on, is that this anime is expanding scenes from the manga somewhat to make them flow better in the animated sense. But it also, like, kind of, like, I don't know. I'm not going to say it subtracts from it, because we don't know. It could be in the next episode. But there is one aspect where it's just like, Rudy is afraid to leave the house in the Isekai. He's afraid to leave the house because when he was a NEET, he literally didn't leave the house for like years at a time. And he touches upon that. But in this one, they don't mention it. And I'm not sure if they will mention it, actually. Because now that he's left the house, he doesn't have any time to reflect on that. But we'll see as the series goes on if they make any more minor cuts like that.
I would assume that they will make a few smaller cuts. I don't feel like they would ignore that. I'll say right now, I have lots of high hopes for this. It was between this, Shield Hero, Cautious Hero, and ReZero. Like, as much as I'm fucking done with the Isekai subgenre, I think we all are. I feel like those ones are almost so good that they can exist in the Isekai subgenre and still hold some credence to the fact that it's not all trash.
Well, there's 3 kinds of Isekai. There's the played straight Isekai, which usually turn out good, because most of those you mentioned are like that. There's the parody comedy Isekai, like, oh, my mom, well, that's not really reborn in another world, but it's the fucking my mom and her twin attacks, or Konosuba, or fucking Cautious Hero. Those ones can be pretty good as well. And then you have the fucking, oh, this is my fantasy if I was in another world.
The self-aware.
The self-aware. Those are the ones that are shit. Those are the ones that we hate. Like fucking Cell Phone and fucking... Jesus Christ.
All right.
But
so it looks like we
let's wrap it up.
Looks like we got about an extra 5 minutes here. Let me talk about Roxy.
No.
Yes.
No,
that's a veto. That's a fucking veto.
That's make a separate video.
Don't challenge me. I will make an entire separate video just gushing over Roxy.
I will challenge you to make a separate video where you gush about Roxy.
Okay.
All right.
Tune in for that.
But we can briefly talk about Roxy. She has a good design. Yeah.
She looks like a magic user.
I'd say.
I mean, what else do you want to say? Like, come on now.
Rudy's dad, Paul.
Rudy's maid.
Yes.
I think Rudy's maid is a very pretty character.
Yes, I would just like to. Okay, nobody gets it. Nobody gets it.
Sink or swim, motherfuckers.
That's an easy fucking surfboard, my nigga. Like this, hey cruising. Come on now. You know we're gonna be watching this shit.
Yeah, I agree. This is an easy swim, and even if I didn't already like it because of the manga, this was just my, context-free introduction. I would still think it's an easy swim because it hooks you.
Yeah, it's a swim. Obviously, we all have at least a little bit of passing knowledge about this. The only way that this ends up going downhill, honestly, is the fact that they just deviate from the story.
Yeah, if the adaptation fucks up. But even then, I feel like if they have the same quality, they could do it, and I would be disappointed, but it would still be fine.
Yeah. So straight up, this really is a recommend. If you're not watching this right now, you're kind of wasting your time. It looks like it's going to be the best thing of the season, and that's in a season where things like ReZero are coming back. So yeah.
All right. See you guys in the next Secret Swim.